good feeling. This place is jumping off hard as it can get. No, we won't ever stop dancing on the edge. We like it dangerous, we like to see you spit. Turn up another notch, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. I got a real good feeling.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, we are going to be doing some technical analysis on the Bitcoin crash that you guys have been watching with us over the last 9 days. Bitcoin hit all-time high of $65,000 relatively recently, and we have now pulled all the way back down to $50,000. Guys, this is a pretty major corrective movement on Bitcoin, and there is much that we need to discuss here. We need to talk about potential support levels. We need to talk about bounces. We have a plethora of technical indicators that you guys need to be caught up to speed on, some potential trade setups that you guys can make, and some long-term analysis on Bitcoin is all in the cards for this stream. Smash that like button if you haven't already. By the way, I am setting a goal at the outset right now. We are going to try to get to 91,000 subscribers today. We are currently at 90, let's see here. We're at 90,344. We need another 666. That's a rough number. We need some subscribers.
Yeah,
Smash that subscribe button, and let's see if we can do it. I'm joined as always by my co-host, the Crypto Beard. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just saw the comment from my Tang. I don't know. 1,000 likes and Tim will fight Joe Biden. I think that actually might be a crime.
Oh
like, I'm pretty sure I could.
I'm pretty sure
that's life in prison.
Yes, no, that's like treason. I don't think you're allowed.
I'm all for the 1,000 likes. I might not fight Joe Biden. Let Joe Biden put up a representative, and then yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Someone asked if I ever wash this shirt, and yes, I do wash this shirt. What's that supposed to mean, huh? That's mean.
A better question is, do you own a hairbrush?
No.
Okay, true.
Ooh.
Yes, I don't. Just to be clear. No, you know, I got up this morning and I went to take a shower, and our editor was in my shower. Don't ask why. It's because he's our roommate. That would be why.
I like that. You could have just left it at that. My editor was in my shower.
Anyway, guys, we are joined as always by Smay, aka
Hi,
Smee the Tree.
guys. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well.
It is your Smangatang.
I'm a smangatang.
Smay.
Yep.
How are you doing, buddy? You doing good?
I'm doing great.
Doing good?
Yeah.
You like your hat? Smay, we actually have a behind-the-scenes picture of Smay when he's off camera over on our Twitter. Go follow us on Twitter. It's a picture that you're not going to want to miss. It's very insightful. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, at CryptoJebb. He just showed it on... You just cheated. They got to go over and look at Twitter.
No, that was the old one. That was the old one.
Okay.
There's a new one.
There's a new one over on Twitter. Tim, how are the price predictions going, my friend?
Well, yeah, someone pointed out there was a joke made that Jebb would need a set of scissors and a axe, and he would chop down the tree and he would cut off the beard. It happened. So we'll update everyone who joins in later. But Jebb did win both Cardano and Bitcoin because he predicted Cardano would be sitting at 115 and that Bitcoin would be at 52,432. We called him the pessimist, but it turns out he was even being optimistic about the pessimism.
Yeah.
Who could have known Ethereum would have done pretty darn close to what I thought it was going to do and rally? I did win Ethereum, so I bring on the W on that one. But we have rules that it is winner takes all in this fight. So now we have a three-way tie. Smay won week 1 of this winner takes all format. Team Tim won week 2, but Jebb has taken the victory at the loss of everyone's money. But that being said, he does get the W.
Well, thank you, Tim. I now have the Expo marker of truth and justice for winning.
That's not even an Expo, so
you're right. It's a
fake.
It's a quartet marker of truth and justice. What is a quartet marker? Anyway, guys, we have a lot to talk about in today's live stream. Go ahead and ask any questions that you have in chat and smash that subscribe button, guys. We are on the fast track to 100K, and we want your help to get there. Bitcoin is on its way to 100K also, and we are in a race against the clock on that. But let's go ahead and jump onto the chart and get started. Guys, there is a lot to talk about on Bitcoin, and just so you guys know, we have even more analysis coming up on a couple different coins in today's afternoon video. So again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. Let's get started. Bitcoin over the last 9 days has corrected roughly 27%. You can see right here we have an all-time high sitting at $65,000, and our current local bottom is sitting at $47,500. This actually pulled back further than I thought it would. I set a price target at $52,000 on Monday. We've pulled back even farther. Bitcoin did that for a very particular reason. In fact, it did it for many reasons that we're going to go over in this stream, but one of them has to do with this descending triangle pattern that Tim so astutely pointed out. By the way, Tim, you were doing very well with your education in cryptocurrency because you saw this.
I'm trying.
Actually, yeah, Tim's doing well. Shout out to non-crypto Tim. He's turning into kinda crypto Tim. Tell us in chat if you're on kinda crypto Tim team. Anyway, this descending triangle pattern, as you guys know, these break to the downside roughly 70% of the time. We can set a price target here, and you can see the price target for this descending triangle pattern was sitting at $48,400. Guess where it pulled back to? $47,600. Price targets are not an exact science, guys, far from it, but they are generally going to be accurate, and in this case, it was. Let's talk about this corrective movement and where we might go. Now, even before we get into this, I want to provide a disclaimer. I'm going to talk about a couple different bottoms that Bitcoin could find. I am not in any way, shape, or form right now talking about where Bitcoin is going. I am only showing you potential support levels, so don't think when I say some of these numbers that, oh my gosh, Jebb's saying that Bitcoin's going to this number. That's not what I'm saying. I am simply showing you the support levels so that we can use that as a foundation for the analysis that we'll be doing in this video. The absolute lowest one is $30,000. I'm going to leave that there. We're not even going to touch it because I don't want people thinking I'm suggesting we're going to 30K. I'm not saying that. The next level of support up that I do want to point out, because this one may come in handy, is $42,000. You guys will notice this was a previous all-time high set on the 8th of January. We also broke through it quite strongly here, and we pulled back to roughly $43,000 back on the 28th of February. For all of our older subscribers who have been here for more than the last couple of months, you will remember that for a month, or actually about 2 months, I consistently had a zone of support drawn between $42,000 and $43,000. That is a zone that we're going to want to keep in mind for reasons that we'll go over later on in the stream. Nevertheless, we also have a level of support sitting here at $47,300, as that is our current bottom. Here's the deal, though, guys. If we look at the daily chart RSI, we have just hit 30, in fact, 31, but close to 30 on daily chart RSI. The last time this happened was back in March of last year. This is the lowest daily chart RSI that we have seen in well over 12 months. That is indicating that we are going to see some kind of bounce on Bitcoin, and we're going to see some kind of recovery. So, with that in mind, let's look at all of this holistically and try and get an idea of what the next few days are going to look like on Bitcoin, and then we'll use those next few days worth of analysis to extrapolate into the next few weeks and months. So here's what the next few days look like in my opinion. The last 9 days have been a 27% correction in 9 days. This is a very bearish move. Bitcoin has corrected $25,000 along with some corrections that were going on in the stock market. This is very likely to receive some kind of bounce. Whenever Bitcoin pulls back this far, this fast, you're normally going to see some kind of bullish movement. And in fact, down on the hourly chart, that is exactly what we're seeing right now. As you guys can see, down here, $47,500 was our low. We then bounced up to $50,000 just an hour ago and rejected at $50,000. That's important, but it might not be over yet, because if we look at the 20 exponential moving average on the 4-hourly chart, you can see this is where we rejected. What I want to see happen, and I'm not saying that this is guaranteed to happen, but what I want to see happen is I want to see this 20 EMA come down here, Bitcoin bounce somewhere above its current bottom at $47,500, break above this, and then rally. Guys, whenever Bitcoin has a major corrective movement like we have seen over the last 9 days, normally it's going to hit a hard bottom, it's going to do a V bottom, and it's going to bounce. Now, here's the question, and this is really the culmination of everything I've said so far, so please pay attention to this. Bitcoin bouncing at $47,500 means that we're moving into a decision point. Right now, it's very difficult to tell where Bitcoin is going to go next because so many things are up in the air. When Bitcoin bounces, it's either going to bounce here, or it's going to bounce here, or it's going to bounce here. The point is, at some price target, 52,000, 54,000, 60,000, 63,000, somewhere Bitcoin is going to bounce to. If it only bounces to $50,000, that's a bad sign, because if it bounces way up here, this is good. This is a good thing. We want to see Bitcoin bounce way up here. But if Bitcoin only bounces to a small target like this is relatively bad. What we see here is essentially a vertical scale of bullishness versus bearishness. The higher this bounce goes, the more bullish we are. The lower this bounce goes, the more bearish we are. And that's why I want to see Bitcoin bounce and stay above $50,000 for a little while and break the 20-hourly exponential moving average. Wherever this bounce leads us is more than likely not going to take us back to all-time high, but it is going to be a strong indication of where we may go in the near-term future. So let's go to full screen really quickly, and let's discuss this. Guys, Bitcoin has been in a 9-day correction. It is getting overextended on the RSI. The MACD is very bearish, but that might be reversing relatively soon. And we just saw some relatively bearish news, speculative news, coming out of the Biden administration. We're going to touch on that later. But the point is here, Bitcoin has corrected very fast, very far. It is more than likely going to bounce and not just plummet straight through $47,000. And wherever it bounces to is going to give us a lot of information about what the next few weeks are going to look like. So I want to hear your take on this in the chat before we move on, because we have a lot more technical analysis to do. I have more to show you. Tell me in the chat, what do you think Bitcoin is going to do? Where do you think it's going? I'd love to hear it. Tim, what do you think is going on with Bitcoin? I know you have some opinions, Farron.
No. Okay, so here's the thing, and people point out almost daily. People point out daily. Here, I don't profess to be an expert at crypto. That's why one of my names is non-crypto Tim. I've only been in this for a couple of months now. I don't know anything but this current bull market. So I have a lot to look forward to learning. But if you guys watched the stream where I got to host because Jebb was out, we talked about some of the things that you need to do as a noob on crypto, and that is to learn. If you make a mistake, learn from it and listen to people wiser than you. So what I'm doing a lot right now is I'm researching people that I would love to see Bitcoin go up, but I'm researching people that disagree with me, right? Something that I just put a link into the description. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, and I don't know if Jebb's saying this is going to happen. And Jebb, we want to be very clear. We are in that boat where we're not really sure what Bitcoin's about to do. We even said it on Monday. We wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin was either at 45,000 on Friday or if it was up to 70,000 on Friday. We're not really sure. However, I was just reading an article a second ago, and this gives me a little pause, and I want to keep looking into it. I'm not going to just start freaking out and selling or waiting. Peter Brandt, who is very bullish on Bitcoin long term. And in case you're wondering about Peter Brandt, we read an article from him earlier this week, / maybe it was the end of last week, where he said that he actually in the last couple of months has flipped his idea of Bitcoin from thinking how much Bitcoin can I get to get it back into US dollars to now saying how much Bitcoin can I get a hold of to leave it as Bitcoin. But he just came out recently. I don't know when this was. This looks like it was yesterday at 11:06 p.m. At least that's what it says. He says, I have entered orders to overnight to buy Bitcoin at 32,500. Wow. So Peter Brandt is a technical analyst who believes that there is a possibility that we could drop as low as 32.5. Now, he is clarifying you shouldn't be freaking out at that. Nope. But this is something to look at and be like, okay, we need to think this way. And I said, I'm not an expert. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Jebb knows more. Jebb wants to be very clear not to tell you guys how to trade, when to trade, what to trade, but he wants to teach you how to think about going about doing it yourself. I don't know. Like, as he just said, Bitcoin is in a place of a lot of weirdness. Yeah, so it can do a lot. Guys, the technical and fundamental landscape on Bitcoin has really been shaken up in the last week or so. And what we have to do now is we have to start looking at this market as if we've just been born. There's a lot that we have to do on technical analysis. I saw that, May. There's a lot that we have to do on technical analysis that might be concerning, but I need you guys to understand something. The fundamentals of Bitcoin are what drive long-term price action.
The technicals are what drive the short-term price action. To clarify our terms here, when I say short-term, I'm in this case talking about a day to 2 months. That's what I mean by short-term. The long-term price action is driven by fundamentals, things like stock-to-flow ratio, things like adoption, things like a massive amount of retail interest getting into the cryptocurrency space. And yes, by the way, I know I look like a flock of seagulls. I didn't take a shower this morning. It's the first time in a long time I haven't done that. Follow me on Instagram if you'd like to see some reasons for that, because I have some, not Instagram, Twitter. Anyway, guys, there is a lot that I want to show you on the chart, so I'm actually not going to delay any longer and ramble anymore. I'm going to jump back onto the chart because there are some important things that we want to talk about that some of you guys have brought up. So, Smay, if we can jump on over there, then we will go ahead and do it. Some people have been asking about something out on the weekly chart. In fact, a couple of things out on the weekly chart that I actually did plan to talk about in this stream, so we're going to go ahead and do that. One person asked about the 20 weekly exponential moving average, which you can see is currently sitting at $45,000. This is one of the longer-term technicals that I want to look at, because if you guys take a moment to look at the 2016-17 bull market with me, you're going to notice something very interesting about this moving average. You can see the moving average on screen right now. This 20 weekly exponential moving average, all of those terms mean something. If you're in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, we have videos on moving averages, exponential moving averages, and even a dedicated video on the 20 exponential moving average. One of the things that you see happen pretty often in a bull market is that the 20 exponential moving average acts as a support level that the market will pull back to time and time again whenever it gets overextended. If you guys notice, bull markets tend to go in these cycles of bullishness, bearishness, bullishness, bearishness, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. I'm surprised I didn't butcher that. Either way, Bitcoin will go into major rallies and then it will correct and it'll come down and find support at that 20 weekly exponential moving average. So the question now is, how has this bull market been operating around the 20 EMA? Well, the bull market started with Bitcoin finding support on it right here in July of 2020 and here in September of 2020. But here's the deal, guys. Bitcoin blew up and took off like a rocket ship starting in October, rallying 500% in 161 days. And in all of that time, we never had the big corrections that we needed. For anyone who's been watching the channel for a while, I'm not saying this to say I told you so, but I am referencing something I said. I've talked about for quite a bit during this bull market, not so much in the last month or so, but before that, I was talking quite a bit about how Bitcoin needs to correct down to a level like this. It would have been healthy for Bitcoin to correct to 26,000 from 42,000. It didn't do it. We only pulled back to $29,000. Same thing happened here in February. We rallied to $60,000 and it would have been healthy for us to correct to $35,000 right down here, but it didn't happen. Now the question is, are we going to finally do what we said we're supposed to do in a bull market and correct it down to $45,000? Here's some perspective you guys need. If we look back on the previous bull market, I just want to get some facts and figures in your head that will help to make the case that I'm talking about here. During pullbacks on Bitcoin, look at this number down here. More often than not, the major pullbacks during a bull market would result in 40% corrective movements in between 14 and 60 days. I've said this for years. This is a trend that you see happen in most bull markets on Bitcoin. In between 14 and 60 days of correction and about 40% price drop. So that's $1,000 down to $600, or that's $10,000 down to $6,000. Notice how in all of these cases, Bitcoin pulled back roughly 40%. It happened here once, here twice, a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time, and a sixth time. Happens quite a bit during bull markets. So the question now is, if that is part of the bull cycle, if that's part of the trend that we see happen on Bitcoin, then what has Bitcoin done recently? Well, here we only pulled back 32% in 14 days. Very short, not deep enough. Right here, we only pulled back 27% in 7 days. Very short, not deep enough. Now what we're seeing happen is that Bitcoin has pulled back 23% so far in 7 days. Very short, not deep enough. So here's the deal. Since Bitcoin likes to pull back to the 20 weekly exponential moving average during bull markets, and we need to pull back at least 30% over the course of a couple of weeks based on what we've seen in previous markets, we could reasonably expect Bitcoin to pull back down to $45,000, as that is where the 20 exponential moving average is. And in fact, if we look on the chart that I set up for you guys a minute ago, you can pay attention, and if you look, you will notice we have that zone of support sitting at $42,000 to $43,000. Well, guess what, guys? It all lines up. If we see Bitcoin pull back somewhere to that zone of between $40,000 to $43,000, that would be between a 35 and a 40% correction, which is what we see happen in bull markets. And it's very healthy, by the way. This is not a thing to be worried about. This is just a buying opportunity. This is a way that Bitcoin can go through a correction shake out all the weak hands, build a strong foundation, and continue even higher. So let's go to full screen really quickly, and let's discuss that. Because I don't want you guys getting scared of this. There is no indication right now that we're going into a bear market immediately. Obviously, that's always on the table. Obviously, there's always reasons to believe that Bitcoin might go into a long-term correction. But so far, until Bitcoin starts pulling back below like $40,000, we don't have anything to be worried about. So here's the bad news. Bitcoin very well may break $47,500. Here's the bad news. Bitcoin might go down to $42,000. Here's the good news. If it does that, it would actually be remarkably bullish for this Bitcoin bull market. Something you have to understand. Let's go back to the chart really quickly, Smay. Just to give you guys context, you know that the last bull market that Bitcoin was in, 2016 to 17, was enormous. We rallied 10,000% in 840 days. But the thing is, if you take any one period in this market, especially the beginning period, because I still think we're somewhere around here in this bull market, if you take this and you look at how far the market rallied in, say, 300 days, we rallied 300%, roughly 1% a day. The problem with this rally that we've been in since October to now is that we rallied 516% in 189 days. We rallied on average somewhere between 2.5% to 3% a day. That makes a lot of sense because the fundamentals are getting better. Let's go back to full screen. That makes a lot of sense because we're seeing a lot of fundamental developments. All kinds of big names are jumping into crypto. Tesla, PayPal, Visa. All of these companies are getting involved. So it makes sense that we would be trading up here. But at the end of the day, it's all happened very quickly, hasn't it? And whenever the market rallies very quickly, oftentimes it's going to need to correct. It's going to need to shake out those weak hands. The analogy I use a lot of times, I'm going to say this and then we're going to look at chat for a second. The analogy I use a lot is that to keep a forest healthy, you have to allow it to burn every once in a while. You've heard of the term controlled burn. Well, in American history, one thing that we did is we started thinking, oh, we don't want the forest to catch on fire because we want the forest to be healthy. We don't want anything bad to happen to the forest. You know, the whole Smokey Bear thing, only you can prevent forest fires. Well, the problem with that, and anyone from California can attest to that, is that when you don't let a controlled burn through a forest, then it builds up all this dead shrubbery, and there's all kinds of dead, decaying wood there that is tender and kindling. So when a fire does come through that area, everything goes up in flames and it gets really, really, really bad. But if you had to let controlled burns go through the forest, then the forest would have been much healthier. That debris and detritus would not have built up in the first place, and each one of the smaller controlled burns would have been just that, controlled. What Bitcoin needs right now is a controlled burn because we haven't had a controlled burn in months. It is actually very dangerous for Bitcoin to go up exponentially and never have a correction because in the same way when you build up all that debris and all that detritus, it gets to a point where it becomes very dangerous. Right now, we need to see Bitcoin have a controlled burn to clear all of that out and lay a foundation for better continued growth. So guys, whether or not Bitcoin goes down to $40,000 is something we're going to be discussing during this stream. I'm not necessarily saying we're going to, but I am saying it would be healthy. I want to hear your takes on that in the comments and in the chat. There is so much stuff going on in chat, and we're going to answer some comments.
It's bonfire.
It's going nuts.
What is, like...
Guys, make sure to smash that like button, by the way, if you haven't already. Let's see if we can't get to 500 likes. There's 1,600 people here in stream. Thank you so much for joining us.
We're going to get to 1,000 likes.
I like that. Let's go, Smay. Smash that like button. Let's see if we can't get to 1,000 likes. And also, we are attempting to get to 91,000 subscribers today, guys. We are currently about 700 away from that. Smash that subscribe button if you want to learn more about the way in which we have become very wealthy working in cryptocurrency markets. Technical analysis, fundamental analysis, these are tools that you need to be able to profitably work in cryptocurrency markets. And if that's something you're interested in learning more about, subscribe to the channel because we bring you guys content every single day. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. What are we seeing in chat, Tim?
So I'm just letting people know from here on out, we will do research on I'm not 100% sure what's happening with Bonfire. So if you're posting stuff about Bonfire, I'm going to put you guys in timeout. So if you are people actually commenting, stop. Like, just for right now, just stop that. Because you're just overloading the chat, and it's not helping anyone who's actually trying to learn about Bitcoin or learn about altcoins. We will, if this is something legitimate, we'll talk about it later in a different stream. But for this stream, done. People keep saying, Tim, you got to fight a bear. Right now, the bear is Bonfire. Tim's going to fight Bonfire, and he's putting it out.
Yep.
It's done. No more, please.
It's over. Good deal, guys.
Also, guys, let's get to 2K likes. You know what I mean?
Smash that like button.
2,000.
Everyone talking about Bonfire is going to be put in timeout because as far as I can tell, it looks like it is a scam. Unfortunately, there are so many scams in cryptocurrency that we can't tell. But we will do our research on it. If it's something legitimate, we will talk about it in the next stream. But for now, we are outlawing the word bonfire. No more talking about it. Any legitimate questions, let's see them in chat. And we might have to put chat on slow mode because there are so many people talking here. Let's see. What do we have going on? Federal Reserve. Wait, we need to fact check this. Sam says Federal Reserve endorsement of Bitcoin likely the biggest story.
Say what? That again?
Someone said Fed Reserve endorsement of Bitcoin likely the biggest story.
Someone said the president of Fed. Yes, it is. I mean, I would imagine that's a big story. Sorry, I'm still working on bonfire people. But
that's good.
So we have a lot of positives and negatives coming out about Bitcoin at the moment. For those of you who didn't realize yesterday was Earth Day, so obviously we had a lot of reports about, is Bitcoin good for the environment? Is Bitcoin killing the environment? The thing, and you guys can tell me, what your opinion is. I actually want to know what your opinion is, because one of the downsides of Bitcoin going as mainstream as it has been going in the last couple months, and like I said, I'm a testament to it. Someone who knew nothing really about crypto in the last couple of months has actually begun daily researching it. But whenever you get that kind of mainstream activity, you get a lot of backlash along with the love. And so that's why we're seeing daily this new thing comes out where this guy endorses it, and then 10 minutes later, another person comes out and says it's the worst thing in the world.
Yep.
It really comes down to what you believe in. Do your own research. This is why our channel is so persistent about you learning for yourself.
Yep.
Because we talked about it in yesterday's stream, the FUD is ridiculous.
Yep.
On the flip side, I would argue that FOMO is ridiculous as well. It seems like every single story is either trying to get you to buy or get you to sell, but they're not actually telling you what you need to know to make your own decisions. So, more.
Someone said, I think they're trying to spook the smangatang with the bonfire.
Probably.
Smay. Smay.
Oh my god.
The Smangatang has been released. Subscribe for the Smangatang if you haven't already. Guys, smash that subscribe button. We're getting close to 91K subs, and I want to see you back in this stream. Let me tell you exactly why. Let me tell you exactly why. And also, if we need to recruit Zach to help moderate, then we can probably do that.
We'll be good.
We'll be good. I don't have the option to slow down the chat. It needs to be somebody logged on.
We'll work on it. Guys, the reason that you should subscribe to this channel is because, unlike most channels in cryptocurrency, there are several exceptions to what I'm saying, but a lot of the community in cryptocurrency is very much about FOMO and FUD, trying to get you hyped up, get you emotional, and make you think that something is happening that isn't necessarily happening. The reason that you should subscribe to this channel is because we keep it real with you. There have been many times where we could have been promoting something like SafeMoon or promoting something like Dogecoin, and we didn't. Why? Because we have a core value here at this channel. It's called integrity. And we believe that we want to make sure, we believe that we have a responsibility to be honest with you guys. And so even though it's unpopular for us sometimes to say things, we say it anyway because it's what we believe, and we know that it's the best thing for you. If you want someone who's going to shoot you straight and keep it real, subscribe to the channel. We have a playlist on the channel called Keeping It Real. Go watch that playlist. There's a couple of videos in there that I want you to watch. One of them I shot in my garage last week on Sunday. Please go watch it. You will love it. Smash that subscribe button, smash the like button, and we are going to continue. What do we want to do next, Tim?
Yeah, well, just real quick, before we move on, because we're going to be talking about altcoins here in a second, someone did classify, and this is, we will fact check this all. They said that the president of the Dallas Fed called Bitcoin an asset class, and that's all it was. We will fact check that to be sure.
Yep.
At the end of the day, there's a lot of people coming out and saying that you should keep it. I think it was, what's his name, Ray Dalio.
Ray Dalio,
again,
the billionaire.
I know most of you probably have heard that name.
Yep.
He's come out and said that it probably needs to be 20% of your portfolio.
Yes.
After being a hater of it. So so again, we have a lot of news going on, both positive and negative, for Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency as a whole. It works to balance stuff out. Obviously, right now we have the issue of the newest, and you can say the bank Fed endorsing is big. Obviously, the Biden news is big. That being said, that this is an idea of, the saying goes, if you hear good news about something, you buy the news, sell the release.
Yep.
This might be an example of sell the news, buy the release.
Yep.
There's nothing concrete. Our research team was looking at that. The number hasn't been decided exactly. We don't know exactly when that will take effect.
Yes.
So there's still a lot happening. It was just the FUD that went into the market that affected this little drop. But like we said earlier, there's also some technical analysts who are looking at this season of unknown and saying, hey, there's a good possibility this could be just the beginning of a bit of a correction, more of a correction. So this is all the more reason that you guys should be doing a lot of research and listening to people way wiser than you that are trying to not lie to you, get a personal agenda across, but want you to actually be productive. And we firmly believe that is who we are. We never try to deceive anyone into anything.
Yep.
We just want, like, we're with you guys. Like,
yep.
I'm sitting here. Why am I non-crypto Tim? Because I don't know things. So I'm for sure trying to benefit myself. And we call me, the other name I have is the Jebb Wrangler. I for sure will always wrangle Jebb in.
Yep.
Even this week, didn't I question some of your predictions?
Yeah, he questioned my prediction. They ended up coming true, but he did question them. In fact, I think you questioned and I changed it to 52. Before we went live, I think I said 48,000, didn't I?
Yeah, I think,
I actually
you were
said
saying,
48.
I think you were saying 50 flat.
50 flat? Well, it was at 50
pretty
flat.
darn close, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm making sure, hey, Jebb, are you actually giving the people what they need to know? And so, you guys, we have checks in place to make sure there's no fake news. I don't know if that's on me.
Stream planning document real quick?
I don't even know.
I don't have it over here.
Oh, he doesn't have it over here. All right. Well, just so you guys know, we have a best practices document for this stream. The very first thing we do.
Best practices.
The best practices
You
document.
asked for the stream planning document.
Let me show you this. We have a stream best practices document right here, and the very first thing it says is our top focus is on making the most educational and entertaining content possible, as defined by the intersection of providing people exactly what they want to hear and need to know while maintaining our core values and mission. With that said, guys, we're going to move on because I have some more Bitcoin technical analysis that we need to do. So let's go ahead and jump on over to the chart. There are some very important things that we need to talk about here, guys. And if you just tuned into the stream, we started off the stream by talking about where we believe that Bitcoin was going to go. We started off the stream by talking about how Bitcoin needs to bounce over the next several hours, and it needs to start putting a little bit of recovery in place. But if it doesn't do that, which it probably won't, to be honest with you, it's probably going to break $47,000, and it could pull back to as far as $43,000. That is strong support. I want to show you something, though. Someone pointed this out on yesterday's stream, and I didn't go into a lot of detail because I intended to talk about it in this stream, and it is even more relevant now than it was yesterday. It would be none other than the weekly chart MACD. Give me a 1 in chat if you've been waiting for me to talk about this. Here it comes. As you can see, Bitcoin's MACD out here on the weekly chart has now crossed bearish. That is more or less confirmed. This weekly candlestick is coming close to being closed, so this is likely going to remain this way. If you look at the history of Bitcoin, you're going to find that there's not very many times that Bitcoin's MACD crosses bearish on the weekly chart. In fact, I can name just a few that have happened in the last 3 years, and some of them show up right here. You can see some of these weekly chart bearish MACD crosses happened here at the beginning of the 2018 bear market, here during this major pullback, and here right before the COVID crash happened in March of last year. So guys, the question now becomes, is it incredibly dangerous that Bitcoin has had a bearish MACD cross, and does this indicate the end of the bear market or something? Oh my gosh, is Bitcoin going to go back to $20,000, which was the end of the bull market, excuse me. Is that the end? I don't want to drive fudge, so I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't think so. Not trying to freak you out. Some people are saying that, so that's why I'm asking that question rhetorically, even though I don't believe it. Here's another thing that some people are asking. They're saying, Jebb, look at this. RSI hit an all-time high of 95. The last couple times we hit that was in the middle and in the end of the 2017 bear market. Does this mean, Jebb, that we're going to go into a huge correction? Does this mean that we're going to go into a bear market? In fact, I don't think so, and I'll show you why. If you look back on the 2016-17 bull market, you're going to find that there actually are a couple of examples of Bitcoin having bearish MACD crosses. One happened here and one happened here. If you look at the chart, you will notice this was followed by several months, in both cases, of sideways price action. What did I just say earlier? I said that Bitcoin needed to have some sideways price action, a bit of a correction, shake out the weak hands, and have a controlled burn. I think it would be incredibly beneficial for Bitcoin to trade sideways at $50,000 for a few months. Again, like I said, we're having to start over on our technical analysis because so much has changed. I think it'd be very good for Bitcoin if that were to happen. And also, the other argument that some people are making is that, oh my gosh, look, Jebb, Bitcoin pulled back to 55, 58, 60 on the RSI. Well, guess what? That happened during every major correction of the previous bear market. It happened here, 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 and here. It happened 4 times. And on the 5th time we went into a bear market, yes, but that is actually more of an indication of a continued bull market than a new bear market. And it can mean a new bear market, but it's not confirmed yet. So with that being said, I do think that we will pull back probably to $42,000 to $43,000. That's a bold prediction and probably not a very popular one, but I think that is somewhat likely based on everything that we've seen with our historical analysis. Based on this MACD cross bearish, this is not necessarily a super bad thing for Bitcoin. In fact, MACD is so far above anything that it has ever seen before in the entire history of Bitcoin, I wouldn't mind it correcting a little bit. I don't think Bitcoin is going to go into a bear market right now. However, I do think that Bitcoin needs to correct. So I want to hear your opinions on this in the comment section down below, guys. Do you think Bitcoin is going super far down? Do you think it's going to pull back to $42,000 to $43,000? I think this bull market is still continuing, and I am super, super excited about it. So we're going to throw it back to chat here for just a second, and then we're going to move on to some altcoin technical analysis. I know you guys want to see Ethereum, and I believe we're also going to do Cardano. Don't quote me on that, but let's go back to full screen for just a second. How are we doing in chat, Tim?
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people are wanting us to get into the altcoin, and there's going to be a link. That, we're seeing, as we're going to look about here in just a second, Bitcoin is losing its dominance. If you guys clicked on the thumbnail, it talks about the dominance question. Is altcoins stealing Bitcoin's dominance? The answer is right now, yes, it is. Like I think we just saw the dominance of Bitcoin drop below 50%. Correct?
We did. Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to be jumping into that. So if Bitcoin is about to go into, as Jebb said, the word bear market is a very scary word.
It's a curse word in crypto.
We are not saying that we're about to move into a bear market. There actually a lot would have to happen to make us go into a bear market because we just had an amazing bull market. We are in a downtrend.
Yep.
But how is that going to affect alts? Because obviously yesterday the news that affected the Biden administration news that affected Bitcoin seemed to also affect altcoins. Is this downtrend from Bitcoin going to affect altcoins, or potentially is this going to be a disconnect where altcoins do their own thing?
Yep. That's
where we're going to go with this. So let us know if you guys have questions about that. We can do some Ethereum and Cardano TA because we know that's the stuff that you guys care about.
Definitely.
But we're going to talk about it as a whole here in just a second.
I have a question.
Sure.
If you're watching the stream, why have you not hit the like button yet?
Ooh, and why haven't you subscribed yet? Ooh.
Look at me.
Ooh.
You better like the stream.
You got to ask the hard
I'm
questions.
looking at you right now.
Uh-oh.
All right.
He's staring into your soul.
All right. I feel like they did it.
Staring into your soul. I think, let's see, are they liking it? They're liking it. Okay. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
If it slows down again, guys, come on.
He's gonna have to pull out the smangatang. I don't know. I mean, we don't want that because it's ear screechingly loud.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna jump on to CoinMarketCap. So let's go ahead and jump on to my screen, guys. Bitcoin's dominance is currently above 50%, but what we're talking about here is the fact that it has pulled back to 50%. Here's what you need to understand. Market dominance is actually a very important and integral part of our technical analysis. And there's something very interesting that I want to point out here. And that is that Bitcoin's market dominance has pulled back from 70% in January all the way down to 50% where it sits right now. In that same time, this other category, notice this other category down here, this represents the amalgamation of all cryptocurrencies outside of the top 10.
What a word. Say that again.
Amalgamation.
Amalgamation. What is the definition of amalgamation?
Amalgamation is when two metals are formed together to make an alloy, if I remember correctly. Okay. But it's when disparate things come together and create something new. So this other category represents all of the cryptocurrencies outside of the top 10 amalgamated into one metric. And we can see this other category from January has moved from 10% all the way up to where it sits now at 20%. And this is reflective in the YouTube space. Let's go back to full screen really quickly and kind of lay the foundation for what we're saying here. In the YouTube space, give me a 1 in chat if you've noticed how everyone and their mother is talking about altcoins now. It's all about Terra and SafeMoon and Dogecoin and this, that, and the other, and all these altcoins down outside of the top 10. So it makes sense that a lot of value has been moving into them. I proposed something a couple of months ago I call the altcoin engine of cryptocurrency markets. And I want you to think about, how does an engine work? It works with different pistons moving back and forth. Let's say we have an engine with two pistons. When one piston is up, the other piston is down. And then they switch, and then they switch, and they switch, and they switch. And together, that cyclical motion drives a drive shaft, a crankshaft, which in turn sends power to the drive shaft and the drivetrain and moves the vehicle forward. So you have the pistons, and one goes up while the other goes down. That's how pistons work. That's how engines work. I propose something called the altcoin engine, which is that whenever Bitcoin is doing very well, the altcoins will probably not be doing very well because the limelight's on Bitcoin. But when Bitcoin starts to perform poorly, but everybody still wants to make money in cryptocurrency, what do? Well, they're going to look for altcoins that they can make a lot of money in, and so the piston switches from Bitcoin being up to now the altcoins are up. Right now, we're in a period where the altcoins are up and Bitcoin's down. You might think, but Jebb, Bitcoin just hit $65,000. Yes, but compared to how the altcoins are doing, Bitcoin is actually being outperformed by the altcoin space. Let's go back to my chart really quickly and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We can see that Bitcoin was having a major uptick in market dominance from September through Q4 to January, we rallied from 56.5% all the way up to 70%. And notice what this other category did in that time. It went down. And then in January, it flipped on its head. Bitcoin started losing dominance, and the altcoins started going up. What we're talking about here is that might continue. And as Bitcoin corrects, altcoins like Ethereum could continue to move to the upside or retain high valuations and large market dominances. Because if you'll notice, Ethereum has corrected 20%, and based on where it is right now, it's actually only down 16% from all-time high. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is down 24% from all-time high. So Ethereum is actually outperforming Bitcoin, as it were. Here's the thing. If you'll notice on the Bitcoin chart, what was Bitcoin doing between September and the end of December? Well, during that time, Bitcoin rallied 313% in 125 days. Ever since then, Bitcoin has only rallied 30% in real terms in the last 100 days. So Bitcoin's mostly been trading sideways while these altcoins have been popping off. So here's what I propose to you. Bitcoin may be about to go into a corrective movement down to $43,000, but there is potential, and this isn't guaranteed, but there is potential that the altcoins could continue their uptick as we have all of this new retail investment coming into the space. So let's go back to full screen really quickly. All of these new retail investors, give me a 7 in chat if you've been in cryptocurrency for less than 3 months. I'm talking about you guys. I'm talking about that group, the people that are just getting in here. Even if Bitcoin's underperforming, they're going to want to be in some cryptocurrency because there's gains to be made somewhere, isn't there? So if Bitcoin's underperforming, where do they go? They go to the altcoins. And if Bitcoin's underperforming, they go to the altcoins. What is that? Well, that's the altcoins gaining some momentum, gaining some market dominance, and Bitcoin going down. And then here's the thing. Eventually, because it's an engine, they flip and they go back and forth. And together, the Bitcoin space and the altcoin space drive the cryptocurrency space, which the cryptocurrency space in this analogy is the vehicle, to greater heights for total market cap. At the end of the day, what I think we're seeing right now is that Bitcoin's losing dominance to the altcoins. The altcoins are going to continue on that trend for a little while. And then when that switches, Bitcoin might start rallying from this $42,000 to $45,000 region and start pushing new heights while the altcoins correct. This is a cycle that I've seen play out many times in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and I think it's wise for you to have it on your mind. With that said, we're going to answer a couple of questions here, and then we're going to do some Ethereum technical analysis because I know you guys are rearing for that.
Yeah, so Chaz
Let's go back full screen.
Chaz has a very good question. I don't know how quickly you can find this, Jebb. If we can't find it quickly, we can definitely answer this in a different video. He said, can you look and see what the Bitcoin dominance was when we started the last altcoin run?
Depends on what he means by the last altcoin run, but yes, I can do that. So let's go ahead and jump back to my screen, and you will see a good example of what I'm talking about here. We saw in 2017 that this kind of altcoin engine idea I have was happening in that case as well. We saw that in, let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June of 2017, Bitcoin's dominance was going up. Watch very closely here. Notice how in this time frame, Bitcoin's market dominance went up as the others went down. Then Bitcoin went down as the others went up. Then Bitcoin went up as the others went down, and back and forth and back and forth. And look at where it kind of started to peter out. This trend started to end about 5 months into 2018, as the bull market came to a conclusion. So this whole altcoin cycle idea stopped, and thus the bear market ensued. Bitcoin started gaining more dominance, and that whole cycle kind of broke down. We stopped putting gas in the engine, and so the pistons stopped moving, and things got stagnant. What we're seeing right now is that force is coming back in a way that I think is very beneficial for the cryptocurrency market. So yeah, we've seen this several times before, and we've seen those altcoins take a lot of that dominance. In fact, we've come very close in history to that other category, the outside of the top 10 category, surpassing Bitcoin itself. Didn't happen, but it came close. Anyway, that's a good question. Let's move on to some Ethereum technical analysis. I have a feeling that people are looking forward to that. Drop a 10 in chat if you're interested in where Ethereum is going. We actually did an Ethereum price prediction on the channel. Was it yesterday? Did we do that yesterday? I think so.
Yeah.
Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let's see if we can get to 91K subs today. I will do a backflip if we get to 91K subs.
Whoa!
I will. It'll be great. I'll probably die, and you'll never see me again, but I'll try.
The chat knows what's going to happen if we get 2K likes. That's all I'm saying.
What happens if we get 2K likes?
I'm not going to say. They know.
Oh, okay. Okay. Challenge. There you go. There's a challenge for you guys. Let's do it. So, Ethereum. There are some very important things we need to look at here. Are we on my screen, Smay?
Oh, yeah.
Good deal. Okay, there are very important things we need to look at, namely the fact that we had a previous all-time high on Ethereum at $2,050, and it is currently being used as support. Boom. What do we teach you in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, which is linked in the description box down below? I teach you guys that previous resistance becomes future support. Incredibly important and foundational concept in analyzing markets. Over the last couple of days, we have pulled back a total of 20%. But at the end of the day, we also pulled back 24% in 2 days relatively recently. What Ethereum is doing right now is it's more or less trading sideways. And if we come down here to this shorter term chart, you guys will notice that this sideways price action has a ton of volatility, but it's not actually moving to the downside. Ethereum has a ton of volatility, but it's not moving to the downside. Let me say, you get what I'm saying here. Volatility is high, and the price is trading sideways. What does that mean? That's interesting. Let's go back to the daily chart and let's analyze it. If Ethereum has a significant amount of volatility, as defined by these Bollinger Bands staying wide and getting slightly wider, and we have high volume, which we do. There's been a ton of volume on Ethereum lately. And if we go over to Google Trends, and I type in Ethereum here, you guys are going to find that Ethereum has very high search interest right now, close to the all-time high that it has ever had. Well, what does that mean? Let's go back to the Ethereum chart. What are the 3 things that dictate the strength of the bulls? This is something I talk about quite a bit. You need to have high volume, you want to have high volatility, and you want to have high retail investor interest. We have those 3 things right now. We have high volume, we can see it on our chart. We have high volatility, which is defined by the Bollinger Bands and how wide they are. And we also have high retail investor interest. What is that? That is basically the amount of search interest going on Google is a good way of measuring that. That is indicative that Ethereum's bulls are actually relatively strong right now. We can also see that even though Bitcoin is in a giant correction, Ethereum has volatility, but it's trading sideways. It's not correcting. So that all ties back into our argument that it might be that Bitcoin is just going to continue to lose market dominance as it did at the beginning of the last bull market. Notice this, right around halfway through the last bull market, actually, early 2017, Bitcoin's market dominance corrected from 86% all the way down to 40%. In doing so, the cryptocurrency market exploded. Even though Bitcoin lost dominance, all of cryptocurrency exploded. So I propose that following this altcoin engine idea, non-top 10 cryptocurrencies, that other category, I think is going to continue to grow. I think Ethereum is going to continue to grow. If we look at the Ethereum dominance, you can see that it has been relatively stagnant, but it is trying to grow. I think these altcoins are going to continue to do very well. Bitcoin might start losing and shedding some dominance to these other altcoins just because everybody's interested in the altcoins over Bitcoin right now. And Ethereum may be one of the biggest coins that stands to gain with that, as Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency. As far as technicals are concerned on Ethereum, we are technically bearish on the MACD, but we're basically trading sideways. We're not actually really in a downtrend on MACD, so you have to take that with a grain of salt. RSI is sitting at 54, which means, yes, we could trend further to the downside, but the fact that the volume is going up, volatility is high, retail investor interest is high, it's kind of unlikely at this time. We can also see that we're sitting right above our 20 daily exponential moving average. Over on Bitcoin, guys, Bitcoin has crashed super far below that. That is an incredibly important support level on Ethereum, and Ethereum, unlike Bitcoin, is holding it. Let's go back to full screen. Bitcoin is crashing, period. Ethereum is holding fast, and Ethereum might actually be the one that leads the charge on this altcoin cycle, and I want to hear your take on that in the comment section down below, guys. What do you see going on, Tim?
While you were talking, Jebb, I was picturing, when I was a little kid watching Peter Pan and Peter Pan struggle with his shadow.
Yeah.
So often, we joked that Ethereum just was like the little brother shadow to Bitcoin this whole time, and we're seeing this wrestling where they're actually separating, at least temporarily.
Yep.
And then we're see that happening with the other coins as well. Like our research team was talking about No Chill Dasa. Some of you guys have seen him recently. He was talking about how, yes, like we see a massive pullback with Bitcoin stuff happening with all the altcoins, but the reason why we think this altcoin season is not about to end anytime soon is what we're actually watching is the altcoins that have been following Bitcoin for so long. As that dominance of Bitcoin keeps dropping, we're seeing them take on their own little achievement, I guess, or their own little path rather than just following what Bitcoin is doing. And that being said, it kind of answers the question. I think this would be a great question for you to answer, Jebb, because like I said, I'm new here, so I ask a lot of questions like that you guys are asking all the time. I ask these in planning meetings all the time. Jebb, what do you think about the long-term focus? When I say long-term, I'm not talking the next month, 2 months, 3 months. I'm saying long-term. What are your thoughts about alts versus Bitcoin?
Bitcoin all the way. A lot of people are asking this in chat right now, actually, is saying, hey, I'm all in on this cryptocurrency, I'm all in on this. You came here for my opinion. I'm going to give you my opinion. This is not financial advice. My opinion is your portfolio should always, at all times, no matter what, be above 50% Bitcoin, period. The reason for that is very clear. Bitcoin was the foundation of blockchain technology. Bitcoin holds one of the most viable uses of blockchain technology, which is a decentralized, limited supply digital cash. I could go on for 6 hours about those words I just said. Decentralized, limited supply, digital cash. Go read the Bitcoin Standard. I think we mentioned that book in every single video. If you haven't read it yet, Go read it. I'm about to make Safadin almost a lot of money from book sales. He deserves it. It's a fantastic book. Do your reading, do your research. You will thank me later. Nevertheless, in the long term, what should you be in? You should be in altcoins that have a very obvious industry application that the currency is tied to. Ethereum is a good example of this. Ethereum has industry application with decentralized applications, with NFTs, with smart contracts, with decentralized voting. VeChain is a good project, I think, having industry application with business supply chain management, and supply chain logistics. These are cryptocurrencies that have an entrepreneurial application, and as far as I'm aware on VeChain, I know it is on Ethereum, the cryptocurrency on the blockchain itself is necessary in the function of that blockchain. Some altcoins are good. The vast majority. And guys, I am talking over 99% here, and I'm not saying that as some kind of pedantic or some kind of pejorative. I mean literally 99% of altcoins. CoinMarketCap, I think, lists, let's see, 9,434 altcoins. Probably about 9,400 of those are absolute garbage, and you should stay away from them. The vast majority of them are penny stocks, if you will, that will go nowhere, and they look like Aerodyne from Wolf of Wall Street. They're just not going to do anything. You might make some money trading them, but investment is a different question. If you're looking to invest, you should have, in my opinion, at least 50% of your cryptocurrency portfolio in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is now and forever the largest, best use of blockchain technology. And at the end of the day, you're not investing in the cryptocurrency, you're investing in the blockchain underneath it. Bitcoin currently holds the most valuable usage of that technology. If you're not in Bitcoin and you're in cryptocurrency, you have made a mistake, and I encourage you to go ahead and rectify that. Guys, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's see if we can get to 91,000 subs today, and consider liking the stream. We're close to 1,000 likes. I would love to see it happen.
I say we're actually running long on our show.
Yep,
but it's because we want to give you the information you need.
Yep.
I will give us the next 2 minutes. It is 10:18 right here. We're in Florida. We have till 10:20. If we get to 1,000 likes, we will talk about Cardano, because I see a lot of people asking about Cardano before we wrap out the stream, to let you guys know what's happening there. But like Jebb just said, if you like this information, if you find this helpful, not only hit that like to keep this stream going, hit the subscribe button so that you can tune in every single day, that we can continue to bring you this kind of content that will help you out.
And also, guys, if you haven't already, you can consider joining the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. The link is in the description box down below. That is where I have poured thousands of hours of my own experience into video content so that you guys can learn technical and fundamental analysis so that you can apply it to your trading. Guys, I know you want to make money trading. It is something that is very noble to want to do. If you want to make money trading, you need to join the Academy. You can see the link on screen just a second ago. If you join that academy, you're going to learn the skill sets, the mindsets, and you're going to have the tools to become successful in this space. But as I've always said, the best investment you will ever make above any altcoin is an investment in yourself. Because at the end of the day, the altcoin can do whatever it wants, but if you don't know how to pick them, you're not going to know how to profit in them. So learn technical analysis with the link in the description box down below. And also, if you're looking forward to trading Bitcoin, I would encourage you to join Bybit. The link's in the description box down below. That is the exchange that I would personally recommend. If you join that, you're going to be helping to support this channel. Looks like we're going to have to do some ADA technical analysis. How about that? Good deal, guys. We're going to go ahead and jump onto the chart, and we're going to go ahead and do some Cardano TA. Guys, Cardano has a very interesting chart right now. Cardano has been doing what Bitcoin has been doing. In fact, you can see Cardano for the last 60 days or so has been trading sideways. This is what I'm talking about. This is actually very healthy for Cardano to trade sideways like this, because it means that Cardano is solidifying its position above $1. This is a very good thing for the long term, because if we look at the long term on Cardano, on the VPVR, what do we see? Because we've traded sideways for so long up here, we have a little bump up here on the VPVR. Once Cardano does start breaking above $2 and going much farther to the upside, $1 will be a strong level of support. So just from a long-term 30,000-foot perspective, Cardano is very healthy right now. Also, on top of that, Cardano's volume has been going up. Cardano's MACD is bearish, however. And just like many other cryptocurrencies, Cardano has been down quite a bit over the last 9 days. 40%. It is the biggest correction that we've seen of the big three. We call the big three Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. Cardano has the biggest correction of all three of them. That being said, I actually think that Cardano has strong support at $1. And unlike on Bitcoin, where I think it's going to drop several thousand more dollars, I don't think Cardano is going to drop a whole lot more. I personally think that Cardano is going to hold $1, or Cardano is going to be in for one doozy of a correction, because quite frankly, guys, below $1, there ain't much down here. There's not a lot to hold up this market right here. Not much at all. The lowest support level right below $1 is 40 cents. So if Cardano does start to break below that, it's probably going quite a bit lower. But here's why I think that might not happen. If we look at our moving averages out here on the daily chart, you guys can see that Cardano has just hit the 100 daily simple moving average. I didn't mention this on Bitcoin, by the way, but we're doing the same thing over on Bitcoin. This is actually pretty important. On Cardano, we're hitting the 100 daily simple moving average, and that is indicative that we might hold that. During bull markets, oftentimes, especially in Bitcoin's history, the 100 daily simple moving average is oftentimes a place that the market will bottom out at. You can see it happening down here. This is the bottom moving average of the two. You can see Bitcoin bottoming out here. It is a very important moving average to look at. That's the 100 daily simple moving average. If you're not familiar with it, go ahead and get it on your chart. Cardano bottoming out here is a good sign. Here's the thing, though. Cardano just had a consolidation pattern break bearish, and it's following a very similar trend to Bitcoin. You can see that Cardano has a price target right here, and if we go ahead and extrapolate this, this price target puts us right down to where we pulled back. Notice this, guys. Because we did our technical analysis, we could tell that Cardano was going to pull down to 95 cents. That's exactly what it did. But just like on Bitcoin, it is now bouncing. Unlike on Bitcoin, I'm hoping, and maybe I'm biased here, but I also think I'm right. I'm hoping, and I think that it's not going to break below $1. If it does, though, yeah, it's going to be difficult to find support levels on Cardano. Because to be honest with you, like I said, guys, there ain't many. We can look at the 200 daily simple moving average because that's about all that's down here. That's 55 cents. I would like to say that Cardano is not going to go that low, but really, guys, anything goes right now. Like we talked about, the altcoins, I think, are going to start doing very well. So hopefully, altcoins being led by Ethereum will start picking up some of that momentum, and ADA will move with them. But only time's going to tell on that. Let's go back to full screen, guys. Any questions that you guys have on Cardano, please let me know. As far as where I think Cardano is going, I think it's going to hold $1. That is tentative, though, and if it breaks below $1, you're going to have a very good short position to enter, just so you guys know. Let's see what's going on in chat. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button if you haven't already.
Yeah, there's a couple interesting things. Yeah, I'm responding to some of them. One guy said, I think people would benefit from hearing this, and I gave an answer, okay. But Jebb, I'll let you give your answer. He was asking, will Doge ever outdo Bitcoin? And then when I said no, he's like, well, but Elon says it's going to the moon, and anytime he pumps it on Twitter, it grows. What is your response to that? Yeah. So, guys, first of all, Elon Musk is a very funny person, literally and figuratively. He enjoys having fun. I like that about him, by the way. I admire that about Elon Musk because there are so many CEOs that get up to the upper echelons of society and they become very crunchy and boring and disgusting and ugh. Elon Musk has always been weird and always will be, and I respect that about him. I actually like that he's been talking about Dogecoin. Here's the issue, though. Elon Musk doesn't actually think Dogecoin is going to take over Bitcoin. And a lot of people are looking to Elon Musk as their leader and saying, but Dogecoin is going to go to the moon because Elon Musk said so. You got to realize that Elon Musk is not giving you technical analysis. He's not giving you analysis of any sort. He's joking. He's trying to be funny. In fact, he never said that Bitcoin is going to Dogecoin is going to overtake Bitcoin, and I'll tell you why it's not going to. Because Dogecoin is not built on decentralized, limited supply, trustless digital cash, which is what Bitcoin is. You got to go and study Bitcoin in the same way that if you want to be a theologian, you got to study the scriptures. If you want to be a physicist, you got to study the mathematics. If you want to be a heart surgeon, you got to study anatomy. If you want to be a trainer, you got to study the body. If you want to be a football player, you got to study the sport. To understand how to profit in cryptocurrency markets, you got to study the reason that Bitcoin was created in the first place. And guys, that right now is something that we're working on, entire projects for how we're going to teach that to you. It is a giant undertaking, and don't get me wrong, it's hard to learn, but it'll become a lot easier if you read one book. It's called The Bitcoin Standard. I will always encourage you to read that book, and it's going to give you a lot of answers. And after you read that book, you're going to come away from it saying, oh, okay, I understand why Dogecoin's not going to overtake Bitcoin, and I understand why I should have 50% of my portfolio in Bitcoin. Read that book and understand the reasoning behind Bitcoin's creation, and all of your questions will be answered for yourself. To even wrap that into a prettier bow, Elon likes to talk a lot about having fun. Go look at his portfolio. Go look at where he put his money. He put it in Bitcoin, not in Dogecoin. He did not put his money in Bitcoin. He did not put his money in Dogecoin, excuse me. He put his money in Bitcoin. Yeah, and that's very important, guys. Look at where don't look at what they're joking about. Look at where they're investing. He put $1.5 billion in Bitcoin and made more money in that Bitcoin than he ever made in profit in all of Tesla's history. Guys, anyway, I think we're about to wrap out the show. If there's anything left that we need to discuss, let's go ahead and do it. The last thing I want to say is, just in case you guys joined us late and you were wondering who won this week's prediction competition, in short, it was your favorite Jebb, Team Jebb. I am Team Jebb, even though I have my own team, because sometimes I like to keep him in check. But I'm very glad when Jebb wins because it helps me learn. That being said, I did win Ethereum, but it doesn't matter because we do winner takes all. Jebb's prediction of 115 for Cardano was the closest, and his prediction of Bitcoin sitting around 52,400 is the closest. So Team Jebb wins this week. We now have a three-way tie. Smay has won 1 week, Tim has won 1 week, and Jebb has won 1 week.
Good deal.
Let's see what happens next week. Join us next Monday and all the week through Friday to see who wins.
Tune in next Monday at 9:30 Eastern Standard American Standard Time. American Standard Time. American Standard Time. Tune in 9:30 Eastern Standard Time next Monday, and we'll be going over something. And by the way, I have something special for you guys coming out on Sunday. So make sure you subscribe to the channel because it's coming here on YouTube. You're not going to want to miss it. Subscribe to the channel. I promise you're going to love it. That video will be coming out probably sometime around 2 to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, sign up for Bybit with a link in the description box down below. It helps out the channel. Consider contacting us at support@cryptojebb.com if you have any questions or if you'd like any more information about the Academy, which, by the way, you can sign up for with the link down below. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, my friends. That is going to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.